All right, we'll call this meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals to order. You've all received the minutes via email from the previous meeting. I'll look for a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
First and a second, any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have a proof of publication for both the front and side yard setbacks for the Schermeyer Street property. Look for a motion to make those a matter of public record.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? I've got a first and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We also have the affidavits for the applicant's petitions to be made a matter of record.
I'll make the motion. Sorry.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, we have three petitions before the board today. The first is for Seth Huber of 500 North 9th Street of Decatur, Indiana, 46733, to discuss the special exemption of use in an I-2 area that was granted on August 16th, 2022. And we'll follow it up with two from Silden Atienzo for the Schermeyer Street property. So, Seth, if you want to...
Let me go first.
Oh, sorry. Kurt, go first.
Okay, so back on August 16th, 2022, Don Hall and Hall & Sons Hardwoods petitioned the BZA for a special exception for use in an I-2 zoned area located at 500 North 9th Street here in Decatur. At that night, they had stipulated the only hours that were to be worked was from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, no weekends. Since that time, I think I sent everybody the timeline. Since that time, Mr. Huber had taken over the property. According to Don Hall, he was selling the property to Mr. Huber on land contract. When Mr. Hall was in here, he got approval to use the property as a laydown yard for both steel and wood, and they were going to eventually move their entire operation to this site, and they were going to produce crane packages. Jump to December of 2023, our office started receiving complaints about noises. We started receiving complaints or requests for the meeting minutes and the special exceptions, which we handed out. From December to February, we received 7 different complaints and requests. On February 23rd, we were informed that they were in violation of the agreement and we're working past 4 o'clock basically. So my assistant Brad and myself went down one day and we sat in the G parking lot. We got there about 3:50 p.m. and we sat there until 4:20, and we did witness a truck being loaded up at 20 after 4. At that time, we had got in contact with Mr. Huber and basically explained to him they were in violation, and Mr. Huber said he would take care of the situation.
That was in December of 23?
No, this was in February.
February.
This was in February. On the 28th, we received another complaint, and it was requested that maybe a sound barrier be put up. At that point in time, it was obviously a sound barrier wasn't going to go up. Financially, it can't be done. Even if the sound barrier was put up, it was not really going to do that much good. On 3/6, we responded to a neighbor and gave the complete history of everything that was going on, explained that Hall & Sons did not own the property anymore. They were selling on land contract, and Mr. Huber had taken over, and we explained again what the rules were according to PZA. On 4/1, we received another complaint about the noise, but there was no mention about working weekends or working after hours. On 4/16, we received another complaint of Mr. Huber's crew working after hours, and then we were given pictures that are time-stamped. April 12, 2024, we have a picture here at 4:31 p.m., 5:06 p.m., 5:15 p.m., and 5:15 as well. So that caused us to bring Mr. Huber in front of the BZA to see what we can do about the issues. I will tell you that my associate Brad, myself, and the mayor have been down there, and we have watched what they're doing, and we've come up with some ideas that could possibly help quiet the situation down to be implemented. But at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Huber and go from there.
Thanks for the recap, Kurt. Seth, when you sit down, if you just give us your name, address.
Seth Michael Huber, 705 Forest Park Drive, Indiana.
Thank you.
My wife with you.
Seth and I aren't really requesting anything at this time. We understand that there are issues at the steel yard, and we are working with our employees. We own 3 businesses in Decatur. We care about Decatur. We're raising our family here. We understand their issues. It's a new business, and we're working. We've had multiple meetings with our team, like to say, hey, truck stops at 3 o'clock. Like, that is the deadline. It doesn't matter how long the truck's been waiting at this point. Like, it's the deadline. So receiving stops at 3 o'clock, and just
So that gives us the hour to try to get the
that
truck.
last final hour to try to get finished. And that is what,
And we don't really start at 7. I feel like that's kind of early, but we usually start at 7:30. You know, some days, so we start pushing start at 7 a.m. Get that way.
there are pictures of,
Yeah.
obviously, there's proof. We understand. We're working with our team. We have reiterated 100 times over how important it is to stop receiving at 3 o'clock, and right, if we have to, yeah. And we are working with quiet. We know it's loud.
Steel.
You can do it, steel.
So we're trying to change the dunnage so it's thicker, so the forks have more room. We're
Yeah.
trying to get it, in that direction.
Okay, any questions from the board?
Yeah, no, I mean, so it's 7 to 4 is the allotted time. I mean, I know you're trying. Are you guys on site at all, or you have somebody running it?
Yeah, pretty much frequently throughout the day.
Okay. Oh, you're there in and out every day?
Every day.
At some point? Okay.
I would have a couple questions. You said the dunnage. I mean, can you just walk us through what some of these mitigation attempts may be? And Kurt mentioned that he and Brad and the mayor have been down to see you, and you're looking at some alternatives, right? What are those, and what?
Before we were using 4x4 dunnage, and forks are 4 inches thick, so it's just scrapes as they go in. So we're switching over to 4x6, but we had to get them special made. They don't make 4x. They make 4x6, but not as common as 4x4. So we switched over 4x6 with it. And we thought about trying to put something on the forks, like coat them, but we got to just so they don't screech necessarily when we're picking them up. But
Like a powder coating almost.
yeah, like a powder coating or something if we get the forks dipped or something. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Any timeline for when some of that could be implemented? I know you said you had to special order some pieces.
Yeah, we got the dunnage in last week, midweek, so that's going to take time to switch them over. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But forks, I haven't found anybody to dip them yet.
So as in new inventory coming in, you're using the 4x6s?
4x6s now.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Any further questions from the board?
I guess, Kurt, is it more, of the complaints we get, is it more scraping and things like that, or is it banging?
I mean, sometimes you can hear it clear across town.
Okay.
We were down on Walnut Street. Brad and I were helping somebody load a dumpster, and there was times it sounded like it was right next door. And that's what it is. It's the forks scraping the bottom of the beams. I mean, it's like amplify your claws on a chalkboard times a million. We did get online and Google. There are some things you can do to the forks. There's fork covers you can have put on. So we're going to give these to Mr. Huber before he leaves. But I think if by going with bigger spacers between the beams, it's going to allow them that extra room to get in there without scraping and screeching on their beams.
And with current, what you've got in, like, I think somebody asked the timeline to turn all that inventory to get the new dunnage in there. I mean, you're talking a couple weeks, couple months? Months?
Yeah, some of that stuff's sat there for a year. It just depends when the job sites are ready for it.
Sure, yep.
Yeah, so as the new stuff comes in, we're stacking it on the...
So everything new coming in, you are changing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bigger wood, so it's just...
Yeah, and as I know it's not the same as when you're taking it out, but when you're putting it on this, have you seen a significant improvement when you're loading these notes?
It's improved, yeah. And it's just, I think this will help put something on.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that makes a difference, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just finding the right thing that'll last, I guess. Yeah, for our own day, but that'll be the next key, is trying to find what works. We'll definitely try whatever works
Okay.
right now, yeah. We're not against it.
Financially, we couldn't put a ground barrier around.
Yeah, we're just, yeah.
And I feel it would probably just go up and out, but
Right.
A big ask, especially on land contract now.
Yeah.
Yep, I would agree.
Any further questions from the board? Okay, so we have comments from anyone in opposition, but we do limit that to 2 minutes per person. So if there's anyone, thank you both, you can step back, but anybody that wants to come forward that's in opposition, like I said, you have 2 minutes, just come to the microphone, state your name and address, and you have your 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Karen Foreman, and I live right across the tracks from the Pine Lake Road there. So I can hear, about them being concerned with the noise and things. But in the meantime, I didn't know if there was a way to not work so much directly across from my house, because a lot of the work is being done like right outside my bedroom window. I watch a 1- and 3-year-old through the week that nap, and it's impossible. So I just didn't know if a lot of the work that they do, like 150 feet from me, if they could kind of move it, since it's such a huge lot, kind of away from my house and more, and my neighbors. I've never been in that yard to see if that could even be. I don't know what they have in there, but they do an awful lot of work right outside beside my house.
I don't think, to move it, I don't,
That'd be more of a question for...
it could be, but yeah, then it would be, in my opinion, it'd be somebody else's. It's just kind of where the lot is, where their operations on their lot.
Yeah.
Just move closer to somebody else's house.
No, because there's only the houses, my house and like my little neighbors there. That's about the only houses around.
Yeah, that'd be a question for them. I mean, that,
Okay.
Move the loading path, the loading and unloading path, and she's right, it's right beside, it's in the middle. Maybe move that to the north where there's less houses. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not against that.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's an,
If you look at GIS,
That's all
That's
I was
not gonna happen tomorrow.
Correct, yeah.
you've got AAP up here,
Mhm.
and then the houses start.
Right there.
Okay.
There's a lot of loading right there in the middle.
They're about right in here.
Okay, you've got, the north and south entrance, right, to the lot, and then you're talking right in the center, kind of between where the gates are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put stuff away on the north and south end, that's what we're doing it now. Then move to the middle, then we'll drive north, we'll drive south, where it goes.
yeah, it sounds like they're open to the
Yeah.
suggestion.
Suggestion, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, yeah, like I said, it won't happen tomorrow, I mean, it's gonna take
I'm
weeks.
all my understanding, but I can't imagine trying to let my kids down. I mean, we'll make it work.
It's-
Okay. Yep, that's all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else speak in opposition? All right, seeing none, anyone speak in favor?
No.
Matt?
I'm Matt Dyer. I'm also a member of City Council, 1009 Lake Shores Drive. Just in general, in favor of business in the community. This is an industrial site. As they mentioned, they have other businesses in town that are thriving. They want this one to as well. I didn't know the hours of operation started with the hall business. It might be as simple as extending those hours of operation, 7 to 7 or something, just to give them more time. It seems like an hour rush at the end of the day to try to do business, but I'm all in favor of being allowed to do business in an industrial site. It's been a long time, but GE ran 24/7 for years at that site, and we want and need business in Decatur. So, appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
I would just point out that if you're going to change anything on the permit, I mean, he can always apply for that, and you have to do that at a formal hearing.
Yep.
You can't obviously do that today.
Sure.
Correct. Just pointing that out.
Yeah. Any others speaking in favor? I'm sorry. Okay, seeing none, any comments or questions from the board?
Working toward like 5 o'clock and things like that, is that the major issue, or is it the noise itself?
I think it's more the noise itself. I think, to be honest with you, if the noise was cut down, way down, I don't think working past 4 o'clock would be an issue. I think it's just that noise. The screeching noise is enough to probably drive somebody nuts.
Okay.
So I think that's the biggest problem here, is the noise.
Okay.
Like I said, we've heard it, the mayor's heard it. The mayor was going into St. Joe one day, and he heard it clear over there. I think if the noise could be controlled, all these issues go away. I think everybody would be happy.
Okay.
That also might be with the if he applied for extended hours, that might be something you would look at and say, well, if you do these noise mitigation,
Correct.
and then the noise mitigation you'd have some teeth in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. No, just one comment would be, obviously, this is an industrial area next to a neighborhood, right? And it's surrounded by neighborhoods, except to the north. So, being neighborly is a big concern, but also it's a big commitment from the two of you and your business and your employees to understand that being neighborly is also part of the entire business process here. So, that would be my only comment, I guess.
And it does seem like they're trying. They've
I
already
agree.
done some major steps as far as the cribbing or whatever you want to call it, get the bigger stuff and try to knock the noise down and everything. So, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Unfortunately, the lot sat empty for how many years and people got used to the quiet, but
Yeah.
it is an industrial lot, so.
Yep. So any other comments, questions?
I'm good.
Good. At this point, I'm not sure where we go here.
I think this was just a meeting to find out what the issue was, what the discussion was, and until there's an application for you to act on, there's really no motion or anything to take.
Yeah.
The bottom line is they have to follow their hours of operation
Yep.
until they decide to change them. And then maybe by that time they can work with Kurt on and also present some noise mitigation efforts if they decide to do that.
Do you want to get something on the books for a couple months to see?
Basically said, how long do you think it's going to take for you to get the trimming, the right trimming in there?
Underneath all of it,
I'm not going to all of it. What's the quickest you could do that, is what I'm asking.
I would take months, but just do it just, it doesn't probably be so much constant, it would just be constantly. Yeah, there's nothing in there right now.
It'll be constant. You'll be doing that all day long, as opposed to waiting till it's coming out to order.
Yeah, they're already on 4x4s, most of them.
So maybe the first,
Be picking them up.
Yeah.
We're going to make it worse twice, basically.
What you could do is, since he's working with Kurt, if you wanted to schedule something like a status report where
Yep.
Kurt would come in and give you a status of that. I mean, I think that's certainly acceptable.
Well, and if there's a mitigation effort that could be quicker, say that, what you just hand them, the four covers or whatever,
like that,
they
yeah.
would at least,
It might be fine for 4x4s with these on there.
Mhm.
yeah.
This might take a while too, or even finding a powder coater is difficult of some sort, I tried spraying them, but it made it worse.
Did you, call Panacea? Did you call Panacea?
No, fancy. Oh, they're in town, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in
Probably the most important thing is that until they change their hours, is to
Yeah.
keep within their hours, because otherwise, I imagine
I
Kurt
mean,
would keep getting...
we got a noise, work, obviously, you're on your employees, but just work to get them to shut her down by 4 o'clock. And if you want to extend those, you're more welcome to petition us for a deviation on that, but yeah, let's at least try to get that, because obviously, we're getting pictures of a timestamp saying it's 5:15, 5:30, and whatever it is. Yeah.
Okay, well, we need to put something on the books for a status update. I
When
guess.
do you want to do that?
Okay.
I can give you an update at the next meeting, and I can keep giving you updates as the meetings come through.
Okay.
I'll be in touch with Mr. Huber.
Yeah. All right. Let's try to shoot for a couple weeks to get those forts taken care of. Trying something with that, I think that's a pretty good time frame. Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Meeting.
Get out of here before the rain.
Thank you. My wife just texted me, said get home by 6:15. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Sorry, we're in a meeting?
Okay.
She's shit.
All right.
I'm on the clock. Take care.
Let Ann get situated.
I am.
That guy probably costs us $700 an hour to sit down.
On the city clock.
Mhm.
Take the long way down, that would be
You pay $2 to come.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Made a matter of record and
Yeah, we did all that early.
publication and
Yep. Took care of all that stuff. Okay, we'll move on to the second petition before the board. Second and third petitions are from Sultan Atienzo and Ulysses Lozano, requesting a variance of 20 feet for a 5-foot front yard setback in a R1 zoning district, 624 Schermeyer Street in Decatur. Refers to City Code 150.135, minimum front yard, which means a principal and accessory building shall have its front yard no less than 25 feet from the front line. And then we also have variance request from Sultan Atienzo and Ulysses Lozano, 2 feet for an 18-foot rear yard setback in the same R1 zoning district at the same address, 624 Schermeyer Street, referring to code 150.137, minimum rear yards, which are to be 20 feet. So we'll start with the front yard setback, and Sultan, Ulysses, if you could state your name and address, and
Sylvan Atienzo, 624 Schermeyer Street, Decatur.
all right, thank you, and then just kind of walk us through.
I don't even explain them correctly, explain better.
I can say.
Have at it, Kurt.
So, technically, right now, according to survey, the front of what's left of her house is 2.7 feet from the property line. So their total, maybe with the right-of-way to the curb, they might be about 6 or 7 feet total. There's 1 or 2 houses down there that are like that. Long story short, they were supposed to keep a section of the house and add on. They're going to remove part of the house and then redo that back section. One of the reasons they were doing that is because the foundation was all bad. Initially, they wanted to keep the front section so they wouldn't have to move the house back. But the way it's dismantled, there's no saving the front of the house. And I don't trust the foundation, so I'm requesting that they take the rest of the house down and the foundation, unless they want to provide engineering from an engineer who says that foundation is good. It's 74 years old. What I have talked them into doing is pushing the house back at least to meet Indiana Fire Code, which is 5 foot from the property line. In order to do that with their new plan, they would be 5 foot from the property line, but they're going to invade 20-foot requirement by like not quite a foot. So what I've done is we've requested a 2-foot variance to give them some play in the backyard. So they're not on a corner, they're not off an alley, they're right in the middle of the lot. So the line of sight's fine, they wouldn't have any issues there.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? As far as the front yard setback goes?
No. As far as the lots, you said there's a lot of similar ones, so I mean, this kind of sounds like it's the nature of that neighborhood.
There's one or two houses, I think there's one or two houses down there that are actually closer to the street.
Because this one kind of lines up with one next to it, doesn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. So, in order to save face with the state fire code, that's where I threw the 5 foot in.
Yep.
Because the state fire code says you gotta be at least 5 foot away from the property line. Otherwise, everything's supposed to be 1 hour fire rated.
Any further questions from the board on the front yard setback? No. Anyone here to speak in opposition? Anyone here to speak in favor? Okay. Any final questions, comments from the board? And I would entertain a motion. Entertain a motion to approve the front yard setback, or the variance for the front yard setback.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
You still need to go through your findings of fact.
Oh, that's right, sorry. It's been a while.
Before that motion gets
Yeah,
started,
sorry.
you need to go through the findings of fact.
Yeah, so we'll read the findings of fact, and then we will have a motion and a vote. In considering all appeals or variances to this chapter, the board shall first determine that the granting of variance will not permit any use in any district which will be in conflict with permitted uses of the district under the terms of this chapter. Yes, agree, or no, disagree.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
4 yeses. It will not impair an adequate supply of light and air to adjacent property.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It will not unreasonably increase the congestion in public streets.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It will not increase the danger of fire or of the public safety.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It will not unreasonably diminish or impair established property values within the surrounding area.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It will not in any other respect impair the public health, comfort, safety, morals, or welfare of the inhabitants of the city.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It is therefore the decision of the board that the petition for variance be granted or denied.
Granted. Granted.
Granted.
Granted.
Kurt, the actual variance from the setback is then how many feet?
The actual setback or the variance itself. The variance would be a 20-foot variance.
It's a 20-foot variance to create a 5-foot setback. Okay,
And then the next one will be a 2-foot variance.
got it.
Yeah, it's got it right here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now we also have a request, same address, for a variance of 2 feet for an 18-foot rear yard setback at the same address, 624 Schermeyer Street. So I think we'll just go straight to Kurt and have him explain that one as well. No
So
problem.
basically, with pushing the house back, it was 2 point some odd feet. They'll actually violate the 20-foot, our ordinance, 20-foot minimum setback for rear yard from the principal building. By not quite a foot. I went the extra foot just to give them some play in case they want to, because the dimension of the house comes out as odd. I'm trying to tell them, if you go 49 feet, you're going to pay for 50.
Gotcha.
So, to give them that luxury.
Understood. Any questions for the board for the rear yard setback? No. Anyone to speak in opposition? Anyone to speak in favor? Okay, seeing none. Any final comments, questions from the board? No. Okay, we'll read the findings of fact. In considering all appeals or variances to this chapter, the board shall first determine that the granting of the variance will not permit any use in any district which would be in conflict with the permitted uses of the district under the terms of this chapter. Yes, agree, or no, disagree.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It will not impair adequate supply of light and air to adjacent property.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It will not unreasonably increase the congestion in public streets.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It will not increase the danger of fire or of the public safety.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It will not unreasonably diminish or impair established property values within the surrounding area.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It will not in any other respect impair the public health, comfort, safety, morals, or welfare of the inhabitants of the city.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It is therefore the decision of the board that the petition for variance be granted or denied.
Granted.
Granted.
Okay. Kurt will be in touch as you continue this project.
Good luck.
Good luck. You're going to need that. Any old business, Kurt?
No.
So it sounds like you might have new business.
I got new business.
There we go.
So Mr. Kevin Biggs will be petitioning BZA for, I want to call it a special exception or special use for his property. If you look up top here, along Village Green. They are seeking to put a, I don't know what you want to call it, I don't want to call it a halfway house, but like a drug rehabilitation type thing.
Like a recovery
Like
home?
a recovery home, that's what I'm looking for, a recovery home.
Okay.
He's under C2, looking at the permitted uses by special exception, there's really nothing in there. So I told him to petition the BZA. So that'll be at our next meeting on the 21st.
What would that fall under?
As far as,
The zoning, what would that, it would be R?
no, it's a C2, it's still a C2. He's going to still be in a C2 commercial.
That's what it currently is, right?
That's what it currently is. He's going to ask for a special exception
Yeah.
like you would in an I-zone area.
Is it like an office space, or is it going to be, like,
So,
it's not,
I mean,
is
it's
it people staying all night, or what is
Yeah,
it?
people.
Yeah.
Okay, so would it,
it's presently
would it be an I, institutional?
The building itself could be considered an I institution, but the property will still remain a C2.
Okay.
So he's not asking to have any portion of it.
He's not asking to have it rezoned, he's
He's
just asking. We did
Just a
the same
special
thing-
exemption, that's it?
Yeah.
We did the same thing with the well now out there on 13th Street and the, what you want to call it, that they turned...
The stat care, the urgent care.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There was really no accepted uses or uses by special exception for that, so we had them coming from a PZA, you know, paper and recorded.
Okay.
There's a lot of occupations or business types out there that are not called out in our ordinance whatsoever.
Okay, is that it from the new business side? Okay, well, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.